No more auction block for me. No more, no more, no more auction block for me. Many thousands gone. No more auction block for me. No more, no more. No more auction block for me. Many thousands gone. And no more 100 lash for me. No more, no more. No more 100 lash for me. No more, no more. No more auction block for me. No more, no more. No more auction block for me. Many thousands gone. Amen. That particular Negro spiritual was called Many Thousands Gone. And I told you, wasn't that a beautiful song? I told you about the writers of the Negro spirituals. I wish you could see that. It just says traditional. There's not an artist. There's not a person who writes the song on most of them. And if there is an artist, basically they've taken those and they've heard them in the church, and then they make them their own. But I found out something pretty interesting today. I was looking, I sit and think about it and pray about it and figure out what I'm going to sing, and there I told you I've got like 4 books, but there's one song. Slave song book that was created soon after slavery. So that would have been around 1865, 1866. And and once again, this book was made, and it had several songs that were together, 200 as a matter of fact. But guess what? The songs that were compiled still didn't have a name. But one of my books, on the front of it, as they looked through the front of that book, they had the people who put it all together. It was really 3 names. Last name was Allen, Ware, and Garrison. 3 people. And it was neat because guess what? They were white people. As a matter of fact, they were, from my understanding, they went to several places here in the South. They started in North Carolina to start gathering these songs. Because during that time, even in different kind of shows, white people would make a presentation of black people and their songs, and saying how black people we just loved slavery, which wasn't true. But they made the minstrel shows, and how all the blackface and with the big lips, and it was so affecting to the music. From my understanding, and I say this from this and then from my own history. Even the slaves didn't want to have any memory of slavery, which that much pain and degradation, you'd want to forget about it too. Amen. I know I would, but somehow it was probably more. But these three abolitionists went and started gathering the songs. They gathered 200 at first. And it just let me know, it brought a close to a tear in my eye. And I don't cry very much, but when I do, Lord help us, Jesus. It was like saying that we need one another. Well, slavery ended, of course, 1865, 1866. But there was still oppression, and still there were songs that were written out of this great oppression. I was born in 1965, 100 years after slavery. During that time, right before this, there was the civil rights movement. And still these great songs were developed. And guess what? Along with our struggle as black men and women, there was white people there as well. And some of them bled as well. Amen. And so I was thinking, if I could sing one more song, is that okay? It would be this one. It goes, we know it mostly from the civil rights movement. And I would have been too young to know about it. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. No more moaning and no more moaning. No more moaning over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Amen. God bless you.